know when the heck we're going to be on.
Oh my gosh, never.
Us.
Never.
Okay. Let's see who we got in. Kent, Patrick, Melinda, Will, always. Sammy. There's our girls, Keita and Ashley.
Yep. And Shane.
Shane's in here. Okay. And I know that everybody else is going to be popping in as we go along. So let's go ahead and bring Shane out. Oh my gosh. Shane, we can't tell you how excited we are to have you on the show. I know in the beginning when we were scheduled on Monday nights, we were trying so hard to get you on, and Monday nights you work. You're one of us. You have a job. It keeps you going. And we were so excited when Billy came back and we got to kind of move things around a little bit and have you on. So this to us is really exciting. So thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts.
Oh, my pleasure. I'm excited
to be here. Shane.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. We're not going to traumatize him with Juicy G yet.
We will not traumatize you with Juicy G. We can never tell, though, when she is going to come out because that heifer's got a mind of her own. And we try to keep her at the come and go, making her money. But you never know with her.
Right?
Oh, God. She's horrible. She's horrible. Hey, Pat. I know... I love your logo. How did you come up with your logo itself?
Man, I actually, so I went through Fiverr. My original logo was through them. Actually, both logos. And I had this one logo done. I didn't really like it. And, but I learned a valuable lesson on the first one is so I was getting it done from somebody in the Middle East. And there was the whatever was translating, all of a sudden, the transaction was ended, and I was like, no, I wanted a revision, and it ended the thing. So then I found this other guy in Australia and just went step by step with him what I was looking for. I wanted it to be a circle for all the different social media platforms because you get a circle. So I wanted to use the whole circle, wanted it to be simple, and then kind of the most logos that are simple stand out. So that was just kind of the goal.
Absolutely. And I know I wanted to ask you about a certain project, and that's the Shadow Project.
Yeah.
I really want to know what you're doing with that.
Well, I just got it in Tinley, so I don't know too much what direction I'm going yet. I did get a 1.1, so the male is 66% het hypo, so I do have some clowns that are het hypo, so I might try that direction. So I get hypos that are het clown, hopefully, and stuff. But I don't really know yet. Of course, they would go in G-stripe clown at some point because that's my main love and passion. But I don't really know yet. I just loved it. I've been watching Heidi and Jack post about that on Facebook for a while, and then seeing it in person, I was just and then we worked out a deal, and I was like, yeah, it's time. So yeah,
I might start calling you the Shadow.
We've been looking at it and we're like, oh my God, and of course we love G-stripe. Charlie from Reagan Renee works in G-stripe as well, and so we're really one of those.
He's got a lot of G-stripe.
Yeah. So we love the G-stripe, but then we saw that the Shadow, was it Arlington that we first saw it, and we were just like, oh man.
Yeah.
So I'm special. What's the Shadow do? Is it pattern mess it up and color, or what does it do?
It's a dark jean.
It's dark.
It's in the chocolate. It's in the chocolate spot nose Wookiee complex. So
we got chocolate. I like the dark jean stuff. Okay. I can't, my brain does not process the names and all that. I'm like, I like this one because it looks like this. And then I rely on Angie and Mr. Donahue and Jim to tell me what it does and what its name is. So dark jean, yes. Chocolate's fabulous.
Yeah, I would say it's similar to chocolate and Wookiee, somewhere in between those. And like it has a
Okay.
different super. The super kind of looks like a super stranger, even though those aren't
Oh, wow.
related. So it's just something in that
Okay.
complex that's different, you know. So
Okay.
yeah, I wanted to get in and jump on board and start playing around. I like, obviously, I thought about genetic stripe with it too because of G stripe. So, and you know, DG and all that stuff in there too. So we'll just see how it goes. I did get a male and a female. The male is a single gene, so I can like really kind of work up with that side of it and be able to ID it. And then meanwhile, the mahogany shadow I got, she'll grow up and I'll do whatever with her at that point. But I'll be able to ID it a little bit better working with a single version first, you know.
So the mahogany is dark, and that one's a dark gene too, right?
Yeah, the shadow mahogany almost looks like a Suma, like a super mahogany. But
oh wow,
yeah, so it's real dark. So yeah, man, I'm excited to work with it. I like dark genes, blackhead. I like all the dark stuff. So
we've got blackhead, black pastel, and those shenanigans. The dark, yeah, I like the dark ones. It's fabulous.
Yeah. I think the whole anything that's dark is pretty cool to work with, in my opinion. So,
Absolutely.
What else are you? What's your other like main focus? As I'm like waving, like you know what I'm talking about. What's your other like? What is? I'm special. I'm sorry, Shane. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. I'm special too. I mean, you know, I do weird stuff too. So my main thing is G stripe clown in the background. I've been building a double head army and then crossing like Desert Ghost and Hypo into that whole project too for like super long term. But as far as like codons and stuff, man, I just kind of I don't have one codon like in particular that I'm like working real hard. I kind of look at it like a cake. Like your recessives are the cake, and then your codoms are whatever frosting you just happen to be using for that.
I like that analogy.
Yeah,
I do. I like that.
Yeah, if something's like if there's a codom in there that's kind of setting it like putting it in a direction I didn't like, then you know it's real easy to take the codom out, but you still got all the siblings that are head or visual for the recessive, so it's not a total loss, you know.
So do you think the enhancer G stripe are in the same group? Like
yeah, I have an enhancer G stripe.
Okay, our daughter's got an enhancer from Billy that she's where I say he. Oh, I'm sorry, Miranda, if you're watching. She is working through with the project with Billy, but okay. So I know there's and it keeps getting brighter and brighter, and we don't have any G stripe. I don't think. Jim will correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I don't think we have any G stripe.
Yeah, I got that enhancer G stripe just to add into the G stripe clown project. So then I'm making head enhancers, you know, as I'm going along, adding, you know, whatever for recessive project, you know, hypo DG G stripe clown. So then, you know, just keep making multiple hets and whatever. So
see, look, there he is. No G stripe. Love you, dear.
No G stripe. Thanks, Jim.
I'm the fun. Keeps it all together.
Jim helps us out
a lot.
We got to go back. We've got some. Let's see. Tammy came in. My daughter Chantrell came in. TJ came in. Hey, girl. Leon. Is that correct? Yeah. Our girl Holly came in. She's been working hard on intros and outros for us, and I've been difficult to work with this week because we're trying to get ready for that crawfish boil. Eric, getting ready for them to come out. Jim's in. Thank you, Jim. Okay, did I get everybody?
That's it.
Okay, all right. Is there a certain combo that's going to be your dream combo that you're working with, Shane?
I don't know, man. I really want to see like Confusion, Wookiee, Shadow, like all that kind of stuff in the Genetic Stripe Clown project because I haven't seen any of that yet. So I want to like make Genetic Stripe Clowns super busy patterned and with some contrast and stuff too. So that's why like the DG and enhancers getting added along the way, and anything to do with G stripe clown is what I want to see. I want to see high pattern ones though. That's my my goal. Just keep throwing stuff in there till it blows up and works.
I love those super busy. We picked up a Acid Blitz Yellow Belly pastel Granite Boy, and I want to see him in a lot of stuff because he's got such a busy pattern and he's so gorgeous, and I just love all the pattern that he has. And
that's why I like the monsoon. It's busy, but when you
Yeah.
mix it in with other stuff, I've seen stuff like Justin's done, but I want that. I love the busy pattern, but the monsoon's out of my price range right now.
Yeah. Hey, Kike, it's out of our price range, but I love that G stripe too. So we want to see, we're working the G stripe and we're working the Acid Blitz Boy, and we do have the clown. So I'm so interested to see, Shane, what you're gonna bring with that, the G stripe and the shadow and the clown and all those jeans put together, because I think that's gonna be awesome. I think the patterns it's gonna bring is gonna be awesome.
Yeah, thank you. I like all that stuff too, the Acid and the Blitz. I like all that busy stuff too. And I actually got a genetic stripe that was 66% het clown. It did test out to be het clown, so that part's good. But one of the reasons I bought this genetic stripe is it still has like side pattern on it, so I thought it would be a good base to work busy pattern codoms in, since it's a genetic stripe with a full stripe and it still has some of the alien heads in there. Okay. So it's like a busy pattern G stripe, if you can call it a busy pattern, but it still has some pattern. So yeah, I think starting with a good base model and working up from there is a good direction to go.
I think so.
When did you start? Like when did you start? What brought you into this?
So this iteration of what I'm doing started in 2019.
Okay.
I bought a G stripe as a pet. Was listening to like Snakes and the Fat Man and Ball Shit. Found them on a podcast because I drive around a lot, so I listen to podcasts. And then my kids introduced me to YouTube, and then I seen what was going on in the ball python industry on YouTube, and I was like, wow, my mind was blown, because I was into reptiles in the late 90s and early 2000s. And then I took a long hiatus. So like when I came back in 2019, like, man, a lot had happened, and I was just like, wow, I didn't know anything about all these morphs and stuff that was going on. And I just told my wife, we're all in, let's go. So.
Because you have a huge following. I mean, you've got like almost 17,000 followers on IG. I mean, it's huge.
Yeah.
Thank you. I mean, that's just a lot of hard work, a lot of daily posting and branching out and networking and stuff. But if I could do it, anyone could do it,
Right. I mean, it's good discipline. I'm scatterbrained, so I rely on Jim. But yeah, that's some awesome discipline there. I know. Like he's like, I'm not ever gonna meet the A part of jar pythons, but we're all good. No, I'm just
we all love you, sis.
I make life interesting. That's about where I come from. So, but you also, like we mentioned backstage, and I know you got ball pythons. I'm sorry, but Western hog noses. So you breed those to like do too, right?
Yeah, that started out as like a little project for my wife.
Okay.
And then I kind of took it over a little bit.
Okay.
I just recently like did a reset on them though. I was having trouble with the babies actually eating after they were born. It was a real challenge.
It's okay. You can say it. They're assholes. I have one.
Yeah, but like the original breeding stock that I started with when I bought them as hatchlings, they were all trouble eaters. So my thought process was like, let's just sell those off as pets and then start over with fresh stock that like started right out of the gate eating good. And hopefully they pass that on to their hatchlings. So I might have one clutch of hognose this year, but then next year I'll be back to, 4 or 5, whatever it is. I just dabble with that. They're cool to have. And I mean, it's just something like totally different than a ball python, so it's just like a little refreshing side project.
Yep.
And you do boas as well?
I just got a few boas. Yeah.
Oh.
They're I'm staying in the Boa Sigma complex, the ones that stay small, the Mexican boas, the Sonoran deserts and stuff. But I mean, they take a long time to get to size and breed. So like I probably won't have nothing from them, like actually be breeding them for maybe 4, 5, 6, 7 years, So yeah, I just got
Do
to
they make IMGs like the IMG boas?
Not if you're staying locality pure. I mean, that's a whole different world in the boa game. I mean, because they got like different species of boas now, taxonomy wise, is how they're split up. There's like 3 different species, and you got localities. So it really depends. Like, I'm trying to do morphs that are also in the localities that I'm working. So then I'm like kind of playing around with the best of both worlds, and then keeping the small boas. Because I mean, these little boas are tiny, but they act just like the big ones I used to have in the early 2000s. So it's cool. It's
How
like
big do they get?
Like the Tarahimaras and the Sonorans and stuff, like 4 feet. So they don't get like real big. Like when you think of a boa or whatever, you think of like a 12-foot snake. These ones don't get that big. So that's my like whole take on it, is like keep them in a small package, kind of like how the people do the dwarf retics or whatever. It's kind of like my thought process with the boas. Like, they're great snakes. I just don't want 12-foot long ones. I ain't got the room for that. So
no, we got Miranda, our daughter, has dwarf retic. My sister Angie has the man eater retic.
Yeah.
As Mr. Donahue calls it. That's pretty cool.
I have the main one.
Yeah.
I sidetracked us, sis. I know you got questions.
It's okay. I'm totally cool.
Mainlands are cool, man. But like, I've been to other breeders' houses that have like big stacks.
They're huge.
Yeah, man. They take up like a good portion of a room. When you got a stack of those enclosures for the big ones. It's like, man, I just don't have the room for that. Not at this point in my life. Maybe when the kids grow up and move out, then I could take over their rooms. That'd be different. But
that's what we did. The kids grew up and moved out.
Yeah.
And now we have their room. So Angus has his own room.
I was gonna say the snakes have their own room, and then we have
the snakes have their own room in the house. Yeah, the babies, we call them the babies. They have their own room.
Do your kids do stuff with the snakes with you? Are they involved in the ball pythons, and are they in it with you?
Yeah, my kids actually breed leopard geckos, and then every Sunday they help me with water changes. So like, I pay them to help me do the weekly water changes and some of the snake chores, but then they also breed leopard geckos. Like, that's their own little project. So when we go to do the local shows and they're selling leopard geckos, that's like their money, so they got their own little thing in the reptile industry. And they're actually just starting to get into tarantulas too. So
oh yeah, those are pretty cool. I do have to interject at the moment because Snakes and the Fat Man has popped in. Snakes and the Fat Man really loves glitter, folks. So please send him glitter.
Loves glitter. Okay. I think we have
I just like poking at Chris. So
at Chris.
Yeah. What's up, Chris? Thanks for stopping by, brother.
Thomas popped in, and I think Stan popped in. So hey, all of you.
That's awesome. No, thanks for coming in, Chris.
Hey, y'all.
So our son has a leopard gecko too. They're pretty cool. They really are.
Yeah, I mean, cool. Their care is just as easy as a ball python, but they actually got legs and a little personality. So yeah, it's cool. Yeah.
Big time. It is neat. It's awesome.
I think the hard part about having multiple species is like keeping a check and balance with it. Like, you can't, like, obviously my main thing is ball pythons, so that's the majority of the room, but I can't let the other side projects start taking up more and more, I have to keep it small. So like with the leopard geckos, the boys have this one rack, and then as they breed and they want to hold stuff back, then I tell them, like, well, then we're going to have to get rid of some of your breeders to make room because we're not buying more racks. So then they have to make the decisions like, okay, we're going to sell off this breeder to hold this one back because this one has better genetics. So they're learning that way,
Yep. It's cool. And that's a good, the ball python and I think in the leopard gecko are a good starter.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep. 100%. So.
And you did Vin Tinley this time. How was that?
That was the best show I've ever been to. Honestly, I mean that was great. I mean, I've been to the Super Show out in Pomona and Anaheim, and like Tinley definitely takes the cake as far as just like the grandiose, just like the whole. It's like the Super Bowl of reptile shows, man. It's really
and
good.
this was the first one we missed. I
Oh.
can't believe
I
it.
know,
This was the
we
first one we
did.
missed.
Well, I'll be
did
there in
miss.
October, so come by the booth.
We've already booked for October, so we will be there in October.
Yeah,
We will.
So
yeah.
we're
Stop
ready
by.
to
We'll
go.
take some pictures and stuff. That was so cool, man. Like me being from the West Coast, I haven't got to meet anyone over on this side of the United States in person too much, you know. And then whatever. So this was the first big show since I've moved to this side of the United States. I'm in Knoxville, Tennessee, but yeah. So it's like people I've been talking to since 2019. I finally got to like meet them face to face and everything. So it was really cool.
Oh, that's
It's
awesome.
a whole different world, Tinley is. It's I mean, you go to like Arlington, it's a different kind of pace, and you go to some of the smaller shows, but when you get to Tinley, it's it's like there's so many more, but it's like a faster pace of group, and it's wall to wall, and it's like a big family of everybody that you've been talking to online and meeting up with, and it's like old home week. Getting to meet with everybody.
Yeah, it was great. You know, I got to van with my buddy Moose at Great Balls of Fire. He shared his table with me. So big shout out to him, and super grateful for that. But I was also kind of bummed on the other hand. I was like, well, I'm going to Vin Tinley. That's great. But I was like, man, I really want to just bounce around and walk around. So it was cool though, vending with them. So they watched my table, like my side of the table a little bit while I could go cruise around. But like, man, when they let in general admission, it's like being at like a Guns N' Roses concert or something. I was like, man, that waves of people, and then there'd be like a little gap, and I'm like, oh, the wave's over. Nope, here comes more. You know?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. You got to do the VIP pass and get in to walk around and see. It is a whole different environment.
It is. Sometimes you can't walk but a couple of steps, and you're like this.
Yeah.
And try not to bump into anybody. And I'm glad you mentioned Guns N' Roses. Who's your favorite band member?
Oh, Duff McKagan.
He's my favorite. I love Duff.
Duff McKagan is his favorite.
Duff McKagan is the bomb. He is my absolute favorite. Has been since high school when I first started listening to Guns N' Roses. I love Duff.
Yeah. He's a one-stop shop. He can play, sing, do anything. I mean, he is the man.
He's got his store, his leather goods store. His wife's the supermodel. His kids are growing up to be. I mean, the man is genius. I mean, he's just genius.
Yeah. He's the man. And don't get me wrong, I like them all. And like Izzy Stradlin would probably be like real close to Duff in my opinion, but Duff's the man. I mean, Duff can do anything he wants with any band, and he just succeeds. You know.
Absolute favorite. Okay, I'm good now. I'm good now.
Chantrell's got a question.
Oh, Chantrell's got a question. She wants to know, are you going to be vending the Nashville show in a couple of weeks?
No, I will not be there. I have a weird work schedule, so I can't like make every show. So I really have to like divide up my time off I get from work throughout the year to like, and then plan out the shows. And
okay.
Well, I do go to all the Knoxville shows. Like I show up on Saturday evening and then go on Sunday. So like, cause I get off on Saturday mornings is my Friday. I work nights. So it's just kind of weird. In order for me to like go out of town for a show, it takes me 2 PTO days to do that. Cause I have to take off. Yeah.
Okay.
Cause my Thursday's actually Friday morning, you know? So it's like, I have to take off Thursday and Friday to like, in order to leave on Friday. So that's just kind of weird.
Kind of weird.
Yeah.
We have BBM.
BBM is in here.
Ron.
Oh yeah.
One of the 4 horsemen. That's one of the 4 horsemen.
One of the 4. Yep. John. Hey, buddy.
Yep. Our brother John's here.
Brother John. I think Kent said Duff.
Jim said Duff, but then there's one, and I don't remember the name, but that's from Lafayette, Indiana. So
So
I like their
and
songs.
Izzy. Axel and Izzy are from Lafayette. And
That's
also-
right. He said Axel.
Yeah.
Axel.
Yep.
You know who else is from Lafayette, Indiana? Josh
John
Strange.
Cougar, huh?
Josh Strange from Strange Creations, man. Check him out.
Really?
Yeah, he's from Lafayette. I went up there to visit him and film a video with him, and also for me, like, you know, some Guns N' Roses history, just going to Axel and Izzy's
Right.
hometown, you know. So, yeah,
Oh wow.
he's a
I
rock. He's a
swear
rock
I
star too.
live in a like hole, and I rely on my husband to tell me shit.
TJ. TJ. She's got to have that one serving. We love our TJ.
Oh yes. Were you gonna ask a question, sis?
No, go ahead, babe. Go
Okay.
ahead.
So of like the big, you know, the Justins, the Billies, who am I forgetting? I apologize. Like, do you look to any of them for guidance, mentorship? Like, I mean, they all add their own, you know, expertise and things like that, but is there anyone that you like look to? Or I
would say,
barking.
well, I've looked to. I look at everyone's stuff for inspiration and stuff. Everyone, big and small. I would say, like, at this current point in my life, probably Will from Royal Canadian Reptiles would be like the one I look to for guidance the most.
I made him take a selfie with me at Arlington.
Yeah. I mean, he's a great guy, super friendly and everything, and he's got a real good philosophy on breeding and stuff too. So, and he
awesome.
He just kind of sat in the background and did his own thing for a lot of years, and then once he started hitting all those hets he was making years ago, I mean, he just rose to the top. You know? So, yeah, but I mean, I like Billy's always been a good mentor. Like, yeah, I'm sure you guys all know that, and Miguel from Always Evolving Pythons, he was real big influence on me in the beginning, and he used to live where I used to live, like pretty close to me, so I used to actually get to go talk to him and stuff when I first started buying snakes and stuff. So yeah, but everyone, man, I look at everyone like a mentor, honestly.
Right.
Absolutely. Hey, Luke, Craft Brewology, Kent would like you to talk about your U.S. ARC support.
Oh, yes.
Me?
Yes.
Yes, you. You're on the spotlight, Mr. Shane.
You're in the hot seat.
So I mean, I pay my dues. I'm a silver, whatever Morph Market says. That's what I am. I'm a silver member. And I mean, that's basically, I mean, I read all the updates, I sign all the petitions that they email, I make sure I do all that, and that's basically all I do. I do participate in any of the auctions and stuff though too. So I mean, I don't get too far into the legal and political side of stuff though. It's just I don't know. I don't like following politics and stuff too much. That's why I look to US ARC. You know, you read the email. Okay, this is happening. Sign this petition. All right, I'm signing and do my money. And then every time I ship a box, I add $1 to the shipping to donate to. So like, you know, just give all I can when I can. You know, but
oh yeah,
we do as well. We do too. I'm gonna get this wrong. Is it Massey?
Massey.
Massey?
Massey Morph.
Massey Morphs? Did I get it right? I hope. I hope.
Do you, as far as feeders go, what do you do? Do you do live, frozen, thawed? Do you breed your own? Do you buy? What is your take on that?
I've never bred my own.
Okay.
I've done them all throughout the years, but my main thing for the most time is frozen thawed. It's just easier for me. I don't have to rely on a local breeder. Like I just walk out to my garage, open the freezer, and pull them out. Like I don't have to drive anywhere. Like that kind of stuff. I mean, the prices have been going up for a while, but
Oh yes.
Mhm.
yeah. But there's a local guy here too that there's actually a couple local people here that when they have overage, I'll go buy their live, feed everyone live for that week, and then everything that's left over, I just gas them and freeze them. So to answer the question, frozen thawed would be my final answer. It's
We are a frozen thawed family here in Indiana, but we also have started breeding and will euthanize them, and humanely we have a thing and like do the whole shenanigans and all that stuff. But yes, Jim does the little dance as I'm shaking my hand right here, and Alex does it, Miranda does it. But if they need live, we'll feed them live. But yes, we do the frozen thawed shenanigans.
Yeah, I do have a couple snakes here that totally prefer live, and they'll kind of take frozen thawed. They never really have switched over, so I do make a special trip for them. But I tend to feed those ones like something big, so like the next week I don't feel bad if they skip. I'm just like, oh, whatever, But
do you do every week? Because we were doing every week, and then we watched. So we're on Billy's Patreon, and we watched. And that, and then he had the doctor on that talked about like the digestive tract of the snakes. Thank you, Sheldon. I'm sorry, my dog Sheldon is out free, and talked about like how long they digest and stuff. So we switched to every 2 weeks, and now we have feeding responses that are 100%. Obviously, if they need to eat in our hatchlings and stuff, we'll feed every week. But do you like? We don't like to let them go forever to not be fed. We'll give them what they need to feed.
So hatchlings, I feed once a week religiously.
Yeah.
Even if I skip the adult, it's not a big deal. Like say when I come back from a show, I skip the adults that week because I got too much other stuff going on, trying to unpack and quarantine snakes and do all that.
Yep.
But the hatchlings I feed every week regardless. And then last year I tried the every other week method. And honestly, like, I know it probably works for some people, but for me, like the girls I had that were like 8 to 10 egg layers, they were only giving me like 5 and 6 egg clutches on that every other week method. So like, since that happened, I just switched back to once a week.
Yeah. Well, I think it's funny. It works. I mean, you got to do what works best for you. Yeah, absolutely.
And I do random stuff too. So like in the springtime, I'll get a whole bunch of chickens because they're on sale at Rodent Pro. So I feed my ball pythons chickens too. So chickens, extra large mice, rats, ASFs are like when I pick up from the local breeders here, like local rodent breeders, they all do ASFs here. So then they eat ASF. So I like my snakes have a good variety, as good as I could give them. I don't know
do
too
you
many
have
other people that are
issues
feeding
switching
chickens.
them between ASFs, rats, and chickens? Like, do they switch easily or?
Mine do, but like I've been doing a varied diet for a while, so that might be
okay.
And then like last year, females that I had bought as proven breeders, they never really switched to frozen thawed, so I pretty much sold off all snakes that didn't conform to my program too. So. Like, you only want a live rat when I'm doing all this other stuff. I'm like, it's time. I got a couple questions. It's time to go. Somebody else. Most people do breed their own rats on a small scale, and I would say
that's a lot of work.
Yeah,
it's a ton of work. Even the small, and I sit and I observe. Like, I'll be honest, Jim does all the work, and it's a lot of work. It makes me tired.
Yeah.
And he does it.
Eat your bun, sis.
Yep.
I've almost like built a rat shed and like started it a couple times, and like some really good friends of mine also bred rodents, and one of them got out of doing it and went to buying them, and that's what they all told me. They're like, don't do it, man. You ain't like, they already know I don't have the time, and they're like, you won't have the time, and
yep.
So that's mainly why I do frozen thawed. I don't have to rely on anybody's supply here locally, and it's at my leisure. Like I said, I go down to the garage, pull out what I need the night before, let it set out in the snake room. Next morning, wake up, feed them off. Easy as that. Like you can't get any lazier than that, you know?
I know. Tonight was a feeding night, so we pull them out in the Jim pulls them out in the afternoon and puts them out, and then like they all feed, and I cheer them on.
And it's like, and I don't ever have to feed or clean those rats. They're in the freezer. They're already done, you know? So
yes, 100%. Wow. So
I
baby
wanted to know,
chicks, huh?
is there a certain amount of clutches that you're wanting to have?
yeah,
each year?
I'd like to get up to that 50 range. I've had not this last season, but the season before I had 21. That's the most I've ever had in one season. This last year, though, I was trying that weird feeding method, and then I had moved the year prior, so I only had 10 clutches for whatever the hell last year was. But
50, like five,
yeah, I want to have 50 clutches. That's kind of like my first goal, and then kind of adjust from there if I want to go up or down. But just to see what the workload would be, you know. I'm sure you all juggle as much as I do, being family, wife, husband, kids, work, snakes. So you gotta I'm still trying to find that balance of where my workload could be, So
Right. It's a lot. It is a lot. We're barely out of the gate though, so if we can get to that point, we'll be happy. But 50 sounds like a lot to us at this point, but that's probably a good goal for us someday.
I think it depends on how your season goes too. So like that year I had 21, I'd say about 15 of them were stacked up between November and December. So like it seemed like I was flooded then because they all those were hatching at once. But like if you have a spread out season, 50 I don't think would be that bad,
Right.
Do you ultrasound?
Yeah, I ultrasound. Yeah.
Okay.
I pair according to my ultrasound too. So like I don't do like a monthly cycle or any of that. Like I watch her millimeters, and when she gets to certain levels, I pair her again. I try to just go for 2 locks and to have a clutch. That's I've done it a few times. 3, I've got 3 down to a science, but I can hit 2. I think I've only done 1 with 1 lock, but there's other guys I talk to, man, that they can watch them, and then they could get a successful clutch with 1 lock. So it's possible.
Oh, wow.
See, it cracks me up. Like we have the ultrasound, we do it, and everybody's like, "Oh, you can palpate them and feel them." I'm like, they all feel bumpy as shit. I'm not feeling crap. Like I don't feel anything. But we have doing the ultrasound. We ultrasound and we can see the millimeters and all that kind of stuff. But yeah.
Yeah, I think if the tools are available and affordable to make your job easier and more efficient, you should go ahead and do it. That's my theory on anything in life, period. I mean, if you can make your job easier or more efficient, why not do it,
Yep. So we have a request for you to show. I'm going to go ahead and add to Sammy's message. Do you have like a favorite prize snake that you would be willing to show?
Man, everything's across the house. I'm in a different room.
Okay. Well, you're good. Like, you're good. So then, okay. So then Jeremy says, what does he say, sis?
What's your favorite species that you work with?
Man, that kind of fluctuates. I love the genetics and the morph side of ball pythons. I mean, that's like, I love that. And like, I love hatching stuff, putting stuff together that could just do weird stuff. I love that. As far as like personalities and stuff, though, I love the little boas I have. Those are probably my favorite for the snakes. Hognose are up there, though, too. I don't know, man. It's hard. Everything I got is something I like working with, or else I'd get rid of it, But
hognoses are cool to watch eat, but they are like, ours is an asshole, which is why I call him Neville Pissy Pants Hogbottom. But it's freaking cool to watch him eat. It really is. It's pretty damn cool.
They're like a Pac-Man with a tail.
Yes. Yes, 100%. That's pretty cool.
But the thing with hognose I don't like is you feed them once and they like crap 4 times. And then especially like the little babies, like when they're hatchlings, you got a couple clutches of them. And so you got them in all these like little tiny tubs and they're all like super teeny. And you got to feed them every 3 to 4 days. And it's like every 3 to 4 days, I mean, they're just crapping all over the tub. And it's like, man, this is a lot of work for these little tiny worms,
Bloat it out.
Yeah.
It's like having a newborn.
Yeah, their metabolisms are so fast. Like you feed them, and it's just like it's coming out, man.
There you go.
I may be rethinking the hog nose.
So-
Hog nose.
Yeah, our brother John wants to know about Kelly Kelly. So your wife's name is Kelly. So
Well, that's actually kind of a funny story. So when I was in like 6th grade, 5th grade, her brother was my best friend, and she's like a little older than me. So I told her back then, like, one day I'm gonna make you Kelly Kelly, and then like fast forward like 25 years, we reunite and I marry her, and I was like, see, I'm a man of my word,
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, how does she do that though, Kelly Kelly?
Well,
She does it, right?
yeah, she does it. I mean, for the first couple of years when she would like pay bills on the phone and stuff, she'd be like, yes, oh yeah. And then now she's like, yep, that's right. Kelly Kelly. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Does your wife do stuff with you and the snake?
Greg.
And
Yeah. She fluctuates on what she's doing with the snakes. She used to be a big part of the YouTube channel too, but she's kind of wanted to stay off camera for a while, so that's why it's just my ugly mug. But yeah, like the hog noses are hers, and some of the ball pythons, like we have a little dreamsicle project, and that's hers too. So she has input and all that. I mean, I do all the feeding and poop cleaning though. So
Yep.
Not in this house. I am the queen of snake poop.
Yep, you are.
I gotta give
I'm
my
a
wife
really good supervisor. I can tell you that. I am the amazing supervisor. I can delegate.
I gotta give my wife a huge shout out though. So when we first moved to Knoxville, I had a job where I was only home 3 days a month for the first year, and her and the kids did everything.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, like it was a big change. Like in California, I did like 90% of everything. And then we moved to Tennessee, and it was just like all them. All of a sudden, it was all dropped on them. But they did it for a year, and yeah. So big shout out to my family, my wife.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that is awesome.
Yeah, they did that to keep my dream alive and keep me rolling. So.
You can't beat that. That's family.
Yeah, exactly.
That is awesome.
What is your ultimate, like, if you had to say what your ultimate dream snake combo production, if money wasn't an object, whatever, what would you make? If you're willing to share.
Have to be, I'd like to see, like, if money was no object, man, I would like to see some, like Stranger, Confusion, G-Stripe Clown with DG. I mean, like, let's get all that stuff going together. But I don't really have a specific, like, gene for gene, like, lined out animal, man. It's like I just try to be water. I just stay liquid, stay fluid, and just keep bouncing from year to year. But like I said, the recessives, I have a goal, hypo, DG, G-Stripe, Clown, all in one snake. And then the codoms, whatever's there, just kind of keep leading the way,
Wow.
I think this question's for all 3 of you guys.
Okay.
What?
How many clutches will we all get this year? Okay.
I will defer that question to Jim and Miranda.
Okay.
We're looking 10 to 15.
Shane, how many are you going to get this year?
Well, I have, I think, 30 pairings going. So ideally, I would hit 30, but I would probably estimate around 20. you know, would probably be a safe estimate. 2/3 of what I'm pairing would probably be a safe guess, but hopefully more. Hopefully closer to the 30 range. Hopefully.
Fingers crossed. Good vibes. Good vibes.
Yeah.
We're pairing, I think, 20. So we're at least hoping for 10 to 15.
Yeah, you know, but like when the year we actually moved here, I had 17 pairings and I actually had 21 clutches. So I went over. Man, that was thanks to the ultrasound and like something to do with that move. Like kicked everyone into breeder mode, like even younger females that I didn't have any plans with till the following year. And I mean, they had follicles when I ultrasounded them, so I went ahead and paired them. And
Paired them?
Yeah, so I was shot for 17 and hit 21. So I mean, anything's possible.
Anything's possible.
Yeah.
So, okay. Fingers crossed then.
Awesome. Great.
Let's hope for the best.
If you had anything you could leave, I'm just talking, sis. So if you had a question, I apologize. If you could leave a legacy related to this, what would you leave? If you wanted to leave one thing behind that people could take from you, what would that be?
It would probably be that anyone could do this, man. Like if I did it, like anyone could do it to whatever level of success they want to achieve, you know, like that would be the one thing I'd want to leave, like just that impression on everyone. Like you don't have to like start out with $1 million, just like, you know, work your butt off and invest what you can invest and then put in a lot of work like on the social media side and you can get going, man. And, like it's possible. That's probably like on the flip side, that's probably like my biggest pet peeve in the industry is like people blaming the lack of success on other things like, oh, I don't have the money or, oh, I don't have the social media presence. Well, like that stuff just doesn't fall out of the air. You actually have to go do stuff to get there, you know? So that would be the one legacy I'd like to leave. Like no different, no cool snake or nothing, just a frame of mind, you know, just like you can do it, you know?
No, that's awesome. I will tell you, like, from what I have seen and about you and like watched, what you see is what you get. And I appreciate that because there are people that per se show one version and then they aren't that way. So
yeah,
I appreciate the fact that what you show is what you get. My experience.
well,
My
thank you.
experience with
that.
you has been that. And I appreciate that.
Thank you. I try.
So no, keep it up, dude, because I appreciate it.
I would say the only part that you don't see that's off camera is like I do cuss a lot in real life. I try to curb that when I'm on camera. But other than that, you know, it's the same.
I have a sailor's mouth. I work.
Have
with
you
sailors.
seen our show?
I'm just putting it out there. Like I'm you see about 95%. The other 5% is like shit, fuck, Satan, does sex, drugs, rape. You know.
I have a sailor's mouth. I work with sailors. I work with Marines. There is no filter. This is mild, so you're all good. No, but I appreciate that because typically you see one version of someone here and then you see another version. And I like that what you see is what you get. It goes a long ways. So keep doing it. It's good.
Thank you.
Yep.
Who popped in?
Did
you get Greg and Gerald?
I got Greg and Gerald and Forward Motion Reptiles popped in.
What's TJ talking about fertility? Fertility or not? Do you know these folks at Rippin' Reptiles?
No,
TJ and Greg.
I don't know them.
They will bring very much laughter and excitement into your life. You really should engage with TJ and Greg.
We have a ball when we have these people on the show, especially TJ.
That's
And
what it's
Greg
all
in the
about.
comments. It gets to be quite the thing with me and Angie and TJ and some of the other girls.
It gets bad. So your
gets
mild
really bad
version
really
of
fast.
cussing is probably nothing compared to Angie and TJ.
It's
I
really
love
bad. It's really
I love
bad.
it.
Has there been any obstacles, do you think, in the industry that you've had to overcome?
Well, I think, well, as far as snake wise, I did have an RI go around through a couple snakes. So I went through the whole NIDO test, the whole collection, revamped my biosecurity and all that. And just my normal routine of how I handle and care for the snakes. You know, now I have a better procedure. And then as far as like community wise, man, not really. I mean, I just try to stay out of the mix, honestly. I just try to stay on the positive side of things as far as the community. I mean, I don't know. You usually get what you put out. So if you're putting out positive, man, you usually get positive back. So
That's
Right.
us. We stay in a good community. We stay with the people that usually in this chat and around us, and we just kind of roll with
We
the punches.
keep our crazy right here.
We keep our crazy right here.
well,
So you're from the West Coast? Real
Yeah.
quick, I'm sorry you mentioned that. But yeah, are you from California?
Yeah,
Okay.
I was born and raised there. Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Okay, go back to what you were
Don't hold it
saying.
against me though. No.
No, I don't hold it against you. No, you're good.
What I was gonna say is like about the positivity part of it too. Like sometimes because I live a busy life and like a lot of my communications, you know, through online stuff, whatever platforms, you don't really see the positive coming back sometimes. But then like when I went to Tinley, man, like so many people stopped by to say hi and like just give me words of encouragement, you know? So it pays off, you know, it definitely pays off. So
Absolutely. And I know we've got to keep you to a certain time schedule because you've got important business to take care of soon. So I want you let us know when you have to kick us off.
we're probably good for another like 5 or 10 minutes.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Perfect.
So back to California. Yeah, man, I was born and raised in California, Southern California, like Santa Paula, Ventura County, kind of by the beach. So just above LA, the next county above LA. So
how'd you end up in the Midwest?
We threw a dart at a map and ended up so for like, I think starting in 2020, or I don't even know when we started, but we started visiting other states. We knew we wanted to leave because we have 8 kids. And so there's still
Wait
2
a minute. Time out. Wait a minute. Did you say 8?
Yeah. We got 8 kids.
Okay. I think I have come to the determination that you're Irish, correct?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Okay. Are you Catholic?
I don't really go with any particular religion.
You got 8 kids. You know? Kelly, bless your heart, sweetheart. I love you. Okay, we're going to move past that. I'm an Irish Catholic, born and raised. All right, 8 kids. Oh, my God, 8 kids on purpose, 8.
Are any kids ever on purpose? I don't know. They just keep popping out, man.
I got freaking frack twins. Those were on purpose. 8. Shane, do you know what happens, Miss Kelly? Do you know what happens?
I never planned any of the kids, honestly. Like I never planned any of them. But like if you get the like, hey, we're pregnant. All right, cool, man, let's go. You know?
You deserve like a gold star for that, and your wife. Oh my God, she's amazing. 8 kids. I know what it's like to raise 2, and I have one that's just like me. And yeah, That is awesome. Okay, so 8 kids. 8
So-
kids, Angie, 8.
I heard that.
So
Impressive.
when we got down to 2 kids still living in the house, like all those older kids kind of like branched off and moved off into their own little states. So everyone's kind of scattered. And then me and my
He's
wife.
got 8. Jim's doing a fishing line telling me to get back to the story. Okay, let's go back. You got
Like
you got 2 at home.
once we got down to 2, we're like, hey, everyone's scattered to the wind. You know, parents and everything left California too. We're like, we'll start jumping around and visiting other states. We visited Texas, Georgia, and then when we came to Tennessee, we were like, man, this is the place. And then thanks to my buddy Moose at Great Balls of Fire, he let me like kind of fly back and forth to his house and land a job out here and all that. And then we just packed up and moved. It like happened quick though. It was like, we're talking about it. There's a job offer, put the house on the market. Okay, you got to be out of your house in 30 days like that. That was like all within a couple days. Like it was like a good plan, but then all of a sudden it like hit. It was like, oh shit, this is really happening. Man, I got to pack up all these snakes and drive them all 2,200 miles away, you know. And
So seriously, did you drive him? Like,
Yeah,
did
yeah,
you guys? How was that? How hard? I mean, how many snakes did you move?
So I downsized to 100 snakes at that point. And then my father-in-law and me, like we drove like a team of truck drivers. Like we just team drove through the whole way. Like the only time we stopped was to get gas. So like we never got a hotel or anything. We just drove straight through. It took 48 hours to drive.
Oh my God.
And then when we got to Knoxville, we had to set up the racks and put the snakes in and do all that.
Leave that up there, Mr. Donahue. Go ahead, put that back up there, Mr. Donahue.
Actually, I don't, man. I don't. I'm probably one of the most impatient people you ever meet, but I have a lot of tolerance. I just tolerate, you know.
Yeah, but I think tolerance and patience kind of fall in that same category, Shane.
Now, I think patience you're born with. Tolerance is something you can learn. Like I'm still impatient inside. I just don't express it, you know.
Probably. Wow. That's all. I mean, I can't, like, we have, so between Miranda's and ours, we have 6, and Alex, we have 62. I could not imagine moving them.
Yeah, it's rough. I mean, well, and then to add to that, like we moved to a rental here, and then we bought our house 2 months later, so I had to pack them all up and move them again. And
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
but that actually kicked everyone into breeder mode. But then the next year, like I had a bad year this last year, so I think.
Okay, so when you're saying bad year, what's a bad year?
I had 10 clutches. Like they weren't going.
Okay.
They weren't eating. I was doing the every other week method too, trying to not overfeed them. And a lot of them were still skipping on the every other week method. And then the ones that did feed on the every other week method just gave me small clutches. So I was like, you know what, going into 2023, I'm going to go back to weekly. What I succeeded with before. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I just reverted back to my original program. So hopefully this year we're gonna have snakes just coming out of our butts.
We're odds gods. We are good vibes your way, ma'am.
Wow.
We don't want to cut Shane off, but we want to make sure that he gets to his child.
Yeah, I think kids are important.
We do want to give you the opportunity to maybe plug your video that's coming out on the 9th.
Yeah.
Which one's coming out on the 9th? Oh,
it's coming out on the 9th.
Well, I filmed and uploaded 2 on the same day. So I'm like, wow, which one did I schedule for which day? So there could be some big news coming up. Yeah, make sure to see the video on the 9th. I can't say much more without revealing.
Check it out. Check it out
Don't
on
reveal
YouTube.
a secret.
Check it out on YouTube. So look
Angie
for-
and I are trying to schedule something and figure all this shenanigans out, but we want you to come back. And
Okay.
and I think
yes.
I think we got to talk to Kelly too.
Yeah.
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 We
Let's
need
get her on.
Kelly on this now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll tell her. Yeah. That'll be good. She needs to start
Oh my
getting
God.
back on the social media side with me.
Tell her we need her back on the social media.
Yeah. I'll tell her. Yeah.
Okay.
I will.
This
Shane,
was so
thank
much
you so
fun.
much for coming on, and we appreciate you so much. And we know you've got to go pick up your boy, but anytime you want to come back, you are welcome with us. Anytime you want to be on.
Well, thank
And
you so much.
go ahead and prepare yourself for Tinley in the fall because we will come to
We
you.
will come and we will come to your booth.
Hey, I'll be with Great Balls of Fryer, which is like right in the front door, the first row, like right there.
Okay.
We'll be there.
Okay.
Yeah.
We will be there.
All right, lady.
Absolutely. Thank you, Shane.
Thank you so much. Oh my
Have
God.
a good evening. Be safe going to pick up your son.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right. We want to thank
He has 8 kids, Angie.
I know.
His wife, Kelly, has 8 kids.
She does. She does.
No, Shane's gone, but we're still live. Jim's like, oh my God, Angie, behave. I had a lot of respect for him.
Yes.
Because I don't like what MJ did for him. And I'm going to go ahead and say that, and people can be fans of him or whatever. I don't care. I'm not going to go further than that, but I don't like what MJ did to him. I like the way that Shane handled it. That's what I'm going to say.
Shane is a class act.
Yeah. And I think it's awesome. And we are going to bombard him at Tinley in the fall.
We are going to bombard him at Tinley in the fall. I am going to talk to you in just a little bit. Joey has just arrived. So we'll go ahead and end the show for tonight.
Yep.
We love everybody, and thank you guys so much for coming in. We love you.
TJ, there's something spinning in my head that I haven't talked to my sister about, but there's something coming, TJ.
It's called One Bottle, One Serving.
Yeah.
Yeah. We love you guys. We're right here doing what we love.
We love.
Loving what we do. You guys
Thank
keep
you.
chasing your dream.
Yep.